Well, Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to the sixth graders and parents and grandparents. We are so thrilled to have you with us. This is the first Shabbat service that our children are leading after long 2 years of pandemic. So it deserves to say Sheheyanu, right? So let's say Sheheyanu together and sing it, right? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam sheheyanu v'kimanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh. Amen, 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 amen. And in Hebrew it translates, "Blessed are you, Adonai, who help us and who enables us to reach to this season." And we say, Amen. So, sixth grade, we are so excited to have you. I see that you're a little bit nervous, so it's okay. Don't be nervous. Your parents here, your grandparents, just enjoy the service. Have fun with that. And hopefully you'll stay for the light kiddush and join us and connect and reconnect with friends and new friends. So we begin our service on page 192. On page 192 with a beautiful prayer, Matovu. And I invite Abby Zebra to lead us. I invite everyone to participate, right? To help out our children, to sing along, to chant along, to read along, and be engaged in the service. Matavu ohaleha Yaakov, Ishkelotecha Yisrael, V'ani be'or hasdecha, avodetecha, eshtacha ve'eshtacha ve'elkecha ve'kodshecha, ve'iratecha. Turn to page 195. Okay, please join us together on page 195. Everyone, blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe. With divine wisdom you have made our bodies, combining veins, arteries, and vital organs into finely balanced network. Wondrous miracle and sustainer of life, when one of them to fail. How well we are aware we would lack the strength to stand before you. Blessed are you, Adonai. Baruch atah Adonai, rofeh kol basar umafliya la'asot. Please turn to page 198 for the daily blessings. Okay, guys, you have to come up a little faster. Come on. Okay, let's make sure we have a good flow, okay? Be ready for your part and come up.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan l'shivkanu
L'chafin ben yom uben layla. Amen. Baruch atah
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam pokei achirim. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam matir asurim. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam zoker kefufim. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam zoker kefufim.
שעשני בצלם אלוהים.
Amen.
ברוך אתה אדוני
Eloheinu melech haolam, שעשני בטוב רבים.
אמן.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani Yisrael. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Otzer Yisrael b'gevurah. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Otzer Yisrael b'tavra. Amen.
We turn to page 206.
These are things that are limitless, of which a person enjoys the fruit of the world while the principle remains in the world to come. They are honoring one's father and mother, engaging in deeds of compassion, arriving early for study, morning and evening, dealing graciously with guests, visiting the sick, providing for the wedding couple, accompanying the dead for burial, being devoted in prayers, and making peace among people. But the study of the Torah encompasses them all.
There are 8 degrees in the giving of tzedakah, each one higher than the one before. To give grudgingly, reluctantly, or with regret. To give less than one should, but only after being asked. To give before one is asked. To give without knowing who will receive it, although the recipient knows the identity of the giver. To give without making known one's identity. To give so that neither giver nor receiver knows the identity of the other. To help another to become self-supporting by means of a gift, a loan, or by finding employment for the one in need.
We turn to page 224 for Hatzi Kaddish. 224. We rise for Baruch on page 226. Please join us. Baruch Adonai, Hamelorah. Baruch Adonai, Hamelorah. Le'olam va'ed. Continue on 229. 228. 228.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, yotzer or uvarei choshecha, oser shalom uvarei et hakol ha'ma'ir ha'aretz, bri ha'olam u'son
Ma'aseh Adonai, Kulam, Chochma, Sita, Ma'ala, Ha'aretz, Kinyanecha, תתברך אדוני אלוהינו, שבח מעשה ידיך, ועל מאורי אור שעשית יפארוך סלע. אור חדש על ציון תאיר, ונזכה כולנו במהרה לאורות. ברוך אתה אדוני, יוצר המאורות. Continue on page 230. Ahava Rabba Hatanu
Adonai Eloheinu, Chemok Edolaviter, Halata Aleinu, Bavu Avoteinu, Ve'imotenu, Shabbat Choshecha, Shabbat Huvecha, Valamdem, Chukehayim, Kentecha Elodienu, Emrachem Rachem Aleinu, V'ten Beinu, Lehavinu Maskil, Shishmor Lemanu Mosket, Lishmor Velaso, Ukayem, Ekodevrei, Talmud, Toratecha Ba'ahava.
Enlighten our eyes with your Torah. Focus our minds on your mitzvot. Unite our hearts in love and reverence for your name. Then we will never feel shame, never deserve rebuke, and never stumble. Having trusted in your great and awesome holiness, we shall celebrate your salvation with joy.
Gather us in peace from the four corners of the earth, and lead us upright to our land. For you, O God, work wonders. You chose us. Truly, you drew us near your great name, that we might acknowledge you, declaring you one in love. Praise to you, Adonai, who chooses your people in Israel in love.
Baruch ata Adonai, haboher be'amo Yisrael be'ahava.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is God, Adonai is one. Blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever.
And please be seated and join us with Ve'ahavta on page 234. 234.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך. ושינתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך ושרתם לאות עיניך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך ובלכתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות להם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
The eternal truth is that you alone are God and there is no one else.
come. May the righteous of all nations rejoice in your love and exult in your justice. Let them beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Let nation not lift up sword against nation, nor learn war anymore. You shall not hate your brother or your sister in your heart. The stranger that scorns you shall be accepted as your equal, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt. Why do you crush my people and oppress the poor, asks God. We know that the Eternal One defends the poor and upholds the right of the needy. Praise to God Most High. Bless the God and
deserving of blessing. Go ahead.
Mi
Hamocha ba'elim.
Mi hamocha ne'er kodesh. Nora tehila o seifele. Nora tehila o seifele.
שירה חדשה. Adonai yimloch, Adonai yimloch, leolam vaed. Go ahead. Sur Israel.
Zur Yisrael, Ke'uma be'etzrat Yisrael. Uvdei chenimecha, Yehuda ve'Yisrael. Go'alenu Adonai, Tziva'ot Shmo. Kadosh Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael.
We reach the center of our prayer, Tefillah, and I invite you to rise on page 242. 242.
Adonai sebatai tita uvia yitehilatecha. Open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu 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 Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzhak Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel HaSadim Tovim, Ve'Halel HaKol, Ve'Zocher HaSeyavot, Lilaot, Lifneihem, U'man Shemo ve'Ahava, Melech Hozer u'Moshiach u'Magin, Baruch atah Adonai, Magin Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mehayeh HaKol atah, Ra le'Yoshia, Meshach HaGashem, Mehakel Hayim Be'el Hesed, Mehayeh HaKol Be'rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Ve'rohei Holim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Elunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha V'Gevurot, Umidom Elah, Melech Mimi, Mehayeh, Umatzi Yeshua, Ve'ne'emar L'Chayot HaKol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mehayeh HaKol.
נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה ואמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוא הארץ כבודו, אדיר אדירנו אדוני, אדוננו מאדיר, ומושיענו והוא ישמיענו ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהי ציון לדור ודור. הללויה. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד גודלך. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד גודלך. ולנצל צדיקים קדושתך נקדיש, קדושתך נקדיש. ושמעו אלוהינו מפינו לא יעלם, לעולם לעולם ועד. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד גודלך. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד גודלך. And please be seated. We'll continue with Vishamru on page 250. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדור תברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדור תברית עולם. בני ישראל עוד לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדור תברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשו אדוני, עשו אדוני אל השמיים ואל הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדור תברית עולם. שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדור תברית עולם.
Our God and God of our ancestors, be pleased with our rest. Sanctify us with your mitzvot and grant us a share in your Torah. Satisfy us with your goodness and gladden us with your salvation. Purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, Adonai our God, grant us your holy Shabbat as a heritage. May Israel, who sanctifies your name, rest on Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh ha-Shabbat.
On this holy Shabbat, may we draw near to life, to peace, and to joy. May we find true rest, holiness in our deeds, worth in our study of Torah. Let us feed on the love of goodness. Let us drink from the love of goodness. Restrain our thirst for excess, and cleanse our hearts to serve life well. On this holy Shabbat, may we draw near in life, in peace, and in joy. Baruch atah Adonai,
שאותך לבדך לעולם נעבוד.
On this holy Shabbat, may we draw near to life, to peace, and to joy. May we find true rest, holiness in our deeds, worth in our study of Torah. Let us feed on the love of goodness. Let us drink from the love of goodness. Restrain our thirst for excess, and cleanse our hearts to serve life well. On this holy Shabbat, may we draw near in life, in peace, and in joy.
ברוך אתה אדוני שאותך לבדך ביראה נעבוד.
For the expanding grandeur of creation, the worlds known and unknown galaxies beyond galaxies, filling us with awe and challenge our imaginations.
אנחנו לך.
For this fragile planet Earth, its time and tides, its sunset and seasons.
אנחנו לך.
For the joy of human life, its wonders and surprises, its hopes and achievements.
יודעים אנחנו לך.
For human community, our common past and future hope, our oneness transcending all separation, our capacity to work for peace and justice in the midst of hostility and oppression.
אנחנו לך.
For high hopes and noble causes, for faith without fanaticism, for understanding of views not shared.
יודעים אנחנו לך.
For all who have labored and suffered for a fairer world, who have lived so that others might live in dignity and freedom.
יודעים אנחנו לך.
For human liberties and scarred rights, for opportunities to change and grow, to affirm and choose.
יודעים אנחנו לך.
We pray that we may live not by our fears, but by our hopes, not by our words, but by our deeds.
Blessed are you, Adonai. Your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving.
ברוך אתה אדוני, הטוב שמך, לך נאה להודות. On page 258. 259.
That's not me. This one?
Yeah, what are you supposed to read? Okay, go ahead.
Your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May continent, region within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of our world. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Adonai, who blesses your people with peace.
ברוך אתה אדוני המברך את עמו ישראל בשלום. Page 261. Go ahead.
Holy One, give me a quiet heart and help me to hear the still, small voice that speaks within me. It calls me to come to you and to grow likeness, your likeness, to teach. It teaches me to do my work faithfully, even when no one's eyes is upon me. It counsels me to judge others kindly and to love them faithfully, for it's me to feed divine in everyone. I help me, O God, to come to the end of each day, feeling that I use its gift wisely and face its.
Please take a few moments for silent prayer. Please join me in singing Oseh Shalom. Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol sixth grade is doing such a wonderful job. So we reached the center of our prayer, our service, when we turn to the Torah service on page 362. It's page 362. We have a Torah reader who will be joining us on Zoom, Lindsay Hagan. Many of you know her. She's a teacher in Hebrew school. So I will bring the Torah out and I will follow, but the reader from home will read from Torah. If you would like to follow along, you may find the text, the Torah portion Shmini, on page 707. It's in the large Torah commentary, page 707. Later, we will have discussion about the Torah portion. Right now, I invite you to rise. I invite you to rise as we take out the Torah from the ark. Page 364. It's 364 in your prayer books. Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, udevar Adonai b'Yerushalayim, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, le'amo Yisrael b'kdushato, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo, Gadol Adonai iti, u'neromemo shmo yadav. Ya la la, ya la la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya And please be seated. Again, if you would like to follow along when Lindsay Hagan is reading on Zoom, and the large Torah commentary, page 707, 707. So before we read from Torah, we have to recite the blessings. I invite everyone to turn to page 368. It's 368 as we recite the opening blessing before the Torah. 368. Baruch hu Adonai habarach, Baruch Adonai habarach le'olam vaed, Baruch atah Adonai אשר בחר בנו מכוכבים ונתן לנו את תורתו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen. Vayehi bayom hashmini karav Moshe la'aharon ulevanav uziknei Yisrael. Vayomer el ha'aron kach lecha egel ben bakar lechatat va'ayil le'olam temimim v'chakrev lipnei Adonai. Ve'el b'nei Yisrael tedaber lemor kehu se'ir izim lechatat ve'egel ve'cheves b'nei shana temimim le'olam. V'shur v'ha'il Lishlamim, Lizboach lifnei Adonai, Umincha belula bashamen, Ki hayom Adonai nira alechem, Vayichu et asher tziva Moshe el panei ohel moed, Vayigravu Kol ha'edah v'ya'amdu lifnei Adonai. Vayomer Moshe zeh hadavar asher tziva Adonai te'asu vayira alechem kivod Adonai. Vayomer Moshe el Aharon Kerav al hamizbeach va'aseh et chatatcha ve'et olatecha v'chaper be'adcha uv'ad ha'am va'aseh et karban ha'am v'chaper be'adam Ka'asher tziva Adonai.
And let's join together in the closing blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher natan lanu torat emet V'chayei olam nata b'tocheinu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen. We say Yasher Koach, means good job to Lindsay. So before our Torah discussion, let's put the Torah back in the ark. And as we do so, we turn to page 370. It's 370, and we rise. V'zot haTorah asher sa Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael. Turn to page 374. 374. Hallelujah, Shem Adonai, Ki nizgav shemo levado. Hodolech v'shamayim, v'yorem geder le'amo, v'hiva lechol ha'sida, lifnei Yisrael, Ham Geravo. Hallelujah, hallelujah. I have to share the screen. So this morning, the Shabbat Torah portion is Shmini, and we'll have an interactive discussion. Just make one copy, so you may have to share. So can you help me test sharing? Guys, can you share? Let's see. It's so great we have so many people that I didn't make enough copies. So I invite everybody to participate, children and adults. And so the Torah portion is Shmini. And in front of you, you see the summary, right? It says Parshat Shmini. Parsha means portion, right? So can somebody read the summary? Can I have a volunteer who can read the summary? We have a microphone here that will pass around. So if you have a comment, right, well, you have to speak to the microphone so people can hear you.
So we'll have a sixth grader to do that. You want to do it? Sure. Okay, so you're going to do that, and then we're going to go around and give it to Sure.
Okay, make sure you have to speak right to the
Parashat Shemini opens with Moses' instructions to Aaron and his sons for bringing offerings to the sanctuary as atonement for any sins that they or the people may have committed. Aaron follows Moses' instructions carefully and places the offerings on the sanctuary altar. Afterwards, two of Aaron's sons, Nadab and Abihu, decide to bring fire offerings of their own. Because they have brought offerings not commanded by God, they are punished by death. Moses tells Aaron and his other sons, Eleazar and Ithamar, not to mourn for them. Later, God tells Moses and Aaron which foods are permitted for eating and which are forbidden to the people of Israel.
Well, thank you so much. So there are two themes in this Torah portion. One is a little bit dramatic, the danger of excess. We're not going to talk about that. But the second one is about keeping kashrut, right? And what do we eat, right? Is eating make us holy? Or who we are, right? What we eat. You know, there is a saying, we are what we eat, right? So the Torah gives you laws, right? What you can eat, what you cannot eat. There are different views on kashrut. So in this Torah portion, definitely there is a law that says a prohibition about eating blood, right? So that means any meat that contains a lot of blood, it's forbidden to eat. And also it's very interesting that many rabbis, right, great rabbis, they link the holiness with kashrut or diet, right? Holiness and diet, they kind of link together. Just keep in mind, right, when you get all those rabbis together in one room, they don't agree, they disagree, right? One rabbi says this, the other said that. So, and then all of us make our own choices and we see how it's relevant to us. So just keep in mind, we'll look at some texts, right, that different rabbis say different, opinions. So you may agree, you may disagree, and we'll talk about it. So what else the Torah portion says? Torah portion presents the whole list of forbidden food, right? And also the list of the food that are permitted. The Torah also permits eating all the animals. This is very interesting, pay attention. All the animals that have like cloven hoofs and that chew the cud. That's a little bit, gross. But what does it mean? Animals who chew their cud. Anybody knows what cud means? If you're not sure, you can, still offer your opinion. Go ahead.
Isn't it like grass, I think?
Grass, right? They're chewing grass. That's good. Anybody, adults can participate too. Daniel, you have to speak to the mic. Pass the mic.
I'll be the messenger.
Like they chew like on their tongue or something?
Right, they chew on their tongue, right? Did you notice the cow when it stands on, the cow keep chewing? So why do they do that? And it's the animals that permitted by law, by Jewish law, to eat. What does it mean, chew their cud? And I know it's very complicated, so I don't expect you to know. I'm just asking. Adults? You want to answer? No?
I have a question. How many of you saw cows eating? Raise your hand. Okay, several. Okay. I was born on a kibbutz in a farm, so I saw many of them. How many of you see that they don't eat, but they keep on chewing? Even without eating from the grass, they keep on chewing. And they chew the cud, that means that you bring it up and you keep on chewing several times. It goes several times. That's
Right.
what I mean, chewing the cud. That means so you really chew it very, very well, all the way through.
All the way
And that's
through.
what it is.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So apparently, the cows, right, and not only cows, the goats, right, the lamb, the sheep, they all have like two stomachs. They like when they take the food, they don't chew it well first time. It goes down and then it comes up. I know it's a little gross. And then they have to re-chew it and chew it again. Okay, so these animals are kosher, right? These animals are kosher. So can you give another example, like those that you can see like chewing? Is goat, you think? Is goat kosher, you think? Adults, children? Lamb, yes, lamb is kosher, yeah.
I'd like to know about giraffes.
Very good question. So giraffe is kosher,
It
right?
just takes a long time for it to go up and down, up and down.
No, the reason, right? The reason we're not allowed to, we don't eat giraffe is that the shochet, right? The person who kills the animal, called shochet, he usually does not know where to do the shchita, right? Shchita, where to kill the animal, right? So kosher meat, I'm sorry that we're talking about it, this is our Torah portion. So in order for the meat to be kosher, it has to be also killed, but a less painful way, right? So just with one stroke, boom, done, right? So why we don't eat giraffe? Because we don't know where that spot that kills immediately, right? So that's the reason. But excellent question. Giraffe is kosher. All right. So any other animals you think kosher that chew their cud? Llama? Maybe, yeah. Yeah, maybe llama. Well, I guess you don't spend so much time on the farm, right?
How many of you saw llama in your life? Okay, good. So I went to Ethiopia, and they have hordes of llamas, and the same thing as cow. You see them keep on chewing without even putting their head down. They keep on going on. So yes. Yep.
Okay, so the pig, right, going through your list, right, the pig is not permitted because it does not chew the cud. Yes, Daniel? Well, is there split hooves? I don't think so. I don't think they're kosher. I have to check. Good question. I'll tell you at home.
I think that they have a split hoof. It's
So
not
the
like
pig,
it's not like a horse. It's like it has a.
the pig is not permitted because it does not chew the cud, right? Go ahead. Right, the pig has a split hoof, but it doesn't chew cud, so it's not kosher, right? So, what about fish? Do you know, except Mr. Adar, I want the kids, answer, and parents, what fish is kosher, do you think? Go ahead. Right. all fish that have fins and scales may be eaten. Can you give me an example of the fish that has scales and fins? Make sure you use the mic. Go ahead. It's okay, go ahead.
Salmon.
Salmon, good. Salmon is kosher. Yeah. Any other fish has? I know when you buy in supermarket, you don't see the
I have to go all the way
scales.
to the end.
I have one that's not kosher, and I was going to say eel.
Right, eel is not kosher. So what kosher, right? Salmon, cod, haddock, right? Tilapia, everything that has scales, right? And fins. Any
Red
other?
snapper.
Snapper, yes. Good job, snapper. Anybody knows any other fish that has scales and fins?
Tuna.
Tuna, yes. Tuna's kosher. Good job.
Gefilte fish.
Right, gefilte fish. Right, gefilte fish, very good answer, is made from carp, right?
But it has to swim, no?
Okay, so what's not permitted? Can somebody read next to the all creeping things? Can somebody read that? What's not permitted? Can somebody volunteer? Go ahead.
All creeping things, including weasel, gecko, crocodile, lizard, chameleon, are forbidden foods. So are snakes, scorpions, worms, and insects are forbidden. Kashrut also means separation of milk and meat products, as well as utensils we use for preparation and serving.
Okay, very good. So kashrut, to keep kashrut, it also means to separate meat with milk, right? Not to eat together and wait in between. And also when you use like utensils, to prepare food, you have to use also separate utensils. So the question for all of you, right, and this is interactive, including parents, why does the Torah place such importance upon kashrut or the art of eating, right? You can interpret it the different way, art of eating, right? What's art of eating? Because many of us don't keep kashrut, right? So what's art of eating? Why is it so important that Torah talks about art of eating? Go ahead.
And I have not studied this in great detail, but I would say that it's the most humane way to eat, and taking care of all creatures and everything that we have to care for. And so when we are consuming, we want to do it in the most humane way possible, and that's why we would separate those foods.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Excellent. Anybody else? Thanks, Mr. Adara, for being a messenger.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if this is true, but I remember learning as a child that a reason that pigs were not kosher is that they used to have a bacteria that would make people really sick. And now, we have antibiotics, but they didn't used to have that. So that was a way to prevent people from eating things that would make them sick.
Yes, that's so much true. Anybody else wants to talk about art of eating? Some people vegetarian, right? Why are they vegetarians? So it's not only keeping kashrut; it's also art of eating, because some people don't keep kashrut.
May I add something?
Yes.
One of the things is not only the art of eating, and also it's part of why we slaughter kosherly, is we give thanks to the animal that we eat. It's not only we just use separate us from the other animals who go, kill, eat, and continue. We give thanks to the animals. We appreciate the meat that they provide us with. So it's also the meat, but also milk. When we milk cows, it's the same thing. One thing that separates us from the other animals is that we appreciate, and one of the things that we do the blessing after the food. We thank God for providing us with the food we just ate. We just don't eat and then it's done, but we give thank you. Thank you for giving us the food that we had on the table today. We really appreciate it. And the same thing for the animals is we appreciate Even though we killed you, sorry for that, but we appreciate no, seriously, we appreciate the meat that you just provide us with for us to sustain our life. And that's one of the reasons really to think about when we eat is we appreciate whatever is being given to us.
Okay, so let's move on. We don't have so much time to talk, but I wanted to show you the text by Maimonides, right? Maimonides was, he lived in the 6th century, right? He was not only a rabbi, he was a doctor. And can you imagine how difficult it was to be a doctor in the 6th century? So when so much was unknown. So can somebody read this paragraph and maybe tell me, what do you think? What does it mean? What does it say? What is he saying? Can somebody else accept the first row? Anybody else would like to read the paragraph by Maimonides? It says number 1, Rambam. Daniel? Go ahead.
Physician and commentator Moses Maimonides
okay,
believed that food that is forbidden by the laws of Torah is unfit for human consumption. Quoting the rabbis of the Talmud, he writes, "The mouth of the pig is as dirty as dung itself." Regarding the prohibited fat of the intestine, Maimonides comments that it makes us full, interrupts the digestion, and produces cold and thick blood. As for mixing meat and milk, he says that the result is undoubtedly gross food and makes the person overfull.
Okay, so it's very strong text, right? I'm giving you a clue, right? He's a physician. He's a physician also. So what kind of opinion is he giving? Is it, what kind of opinion? Go ahead. That he should what?
He doesn't think that we should eat non-kosher animals.
Right. That he thinks we shouldn't eat, but why, right? He's offering, Daniel.
It's not good for your health.
Exactly. It's not good for your health. So he, as a physician and a rabbi and a scholar, offers what kind of medical opinion, right? It's a medical opinion. So next text, who wants to read the next text, number 2? We may agree, we may not agree, but it's a medical opinion. Who would like to read number 2? Come on, guys. It's in English. Go ahead, Ethan. Arama is one of the rabbis. It's 2. No, before that. Number 2.
Oh, this one. Pure?
Arama? No, page before that.
Oh, this one here.
Rama feared that if the Torah's laws about forbidden foods were reduced to medical suggestions with the discovery of a medical cure for the harm caused by a particular food, there would be no further reason for the Torah prohibition to be observed. The effect would make the Torah superfluous, afraid of such a conclusion. Rama argues that the Torah is not a medical text. Its purpose, he says, is to teach us how to live a life of holiness.
Okay, thank you. There's some hard words. So he's a rabbi, right? He's not a physician. So what he's saying? What is he saying? The Torah is not, David? Right. So he's not saying it's medical text, right? He's saying it's not the Torah is not medical text. He's afraid that we're going to think the Torah is medical text. What is he saying? The Torah is above, right? That it's what? Huh? That it's holy, right? That it's like a code of holiness, right? That it's above. It's not the medical text. The Torah is holy. So this is my favorite text is next one, the Hasidic teacher. So this is the last text we're going to read. Can somebody read the Hasidic teacher? Can somebody volunteer? Parents?
Okay.
Go ahead.
A Hasidic teacher, Levi Yitzhak of Berdichev, also offers an interpretation for the laws of kashrut that pertains to spiritual health. He points out that the laws concerning permitted and forbidden foods have to do with what one allows to enter the mouth. If there is no discipline concerning what one eats, if one is careless about consuming forbidden foods, it is likely that one may also be insensitive and careless about what one says, about slandering and lying, about what comes out of the mouth. Kashrut, for Levi Yitzhak, is not only about food, it is also meant to help us keep our mouths clean and pure from harmful talk.
No, yeah, this is very, interesting interpretation, right? Go ahead. I cannot hear.
It teaches us discipline, is what you're saying?
Discipline? Yes, excellent. I was looking for that word for 10 minutes. It teaches us discipline, right? And also, did you hear expression like we are what we eat? Did you hear that expression? Okay. So in order to conclude our discussion, right, this is the questions to consider. In general, how does eating influence our body and soul? Just in general, kosher, not kosher, like in general, how does eating influence our body and soul?
I think depending on what it can either make you really healthy and like make you like grow, or it can make you really unhealthy and make you sick.
Exactly. Very good. Anybody else? Like, how does food influence our body? Go ahead.
In many types of foods, there's different things that can help our body, like fiber and things like that, and that's healthy for us. And we should all have those foods, like fruits and vegetables.
Yeah, excellent. There are some foods that are full of fiber and fruits and vegetables that help us be healthy and grow. Yeah, Ms.
Also,
Nira?
when you eat unhealthy, it affects our body, our health, and also our mental, right? It makes us feel tired, not motivated to do anything, so it is affecting us.
Yes, excellent. What we eat, and Mr. Adar, there is some, what we eat influences our brain. I mean, at least for me.
If we eat potty foods, we get a potty mouth. So we say potty things.
Tzipora, Mr. Tzipora.
Whether it's through eating kosher or not, it can connect us also to other generations and to other parts of our families and culture.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Anybody else wants to? Go ahead, Hazel.
I think if people have like a favorite food that they like to eat, it'll make them feel more at home and happy. So just having like a familiar food might make them feel more comfortable.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. So yeah, that's all great reasons. Anybody else?
I think the idea that there are so many kind of different foods out there is like you can try different kinds, and like you'll explore like different cultures, and you could fall in love with some that you'd never like think that you would.
Beautiful. And just imagine, like, I don't know if the allergies existed at that time, but now, like, we have so many, so much food that people are allergic, right? And make people sick, and people even can die. So food is the big thing in our lives. Anybody else wants to add anything? So the last question is, what are the reasons to keep kashrut, right? Number A, uplifting, sanctifying, right? And imposing discipline on, right? Like a discipline. B, identification and solidarity with the worldwide Jewish community. And C, the ethical discipline of avoiding certain foods, right? So anybody would like to choose A, B, C, like just who choose A, who choose B, who C, or who would, Ethan? C, okay. Anybody else? The first one is like for holiness, right, and discipline. The second is solidarity with Jewish people around the world. And the third is ethical discipline for avoiding certain foods, maybe like ecology, right? To preserve ecology. Anybody else? No? So C, any A's? Hazel is on the A, okay. Who else is on the A? Who's on the B? You on the B? All of them, okay. And who's in the C? Okay. Well, thank you so much for your insightful discussion. We are ready to turn to the last part of the service for Aleinu on page 586. It's page 586, and please rise for Aleinu. So at this point in the service, we turn to page 598. 598. And in a moment, we'll recite Kaddish Yatom and Morris Kaddish, and we will recite the names of people who died in recent days, as we remember that, and then we'll recite the Yortzeits. In recent days, we remember Madeleine Albright, also the terror victims from Beersheba, Israel, that died on Monday, Rabbi Moshe Kravitsky, Barry Jacobs, brother of Mike Jacobs, Yelena Lemberskaya, daughter of Alexander and Ina Lembersky, Sheila Newman, sister-in-law of Karen and Ron Newman, David Lovenheim, brother of Janet Urban. And the Yortzeits this morning: Otto Berker, Esther Boltanskaya, Mordechai Dror, Margaret Ebner, Bob Fisher, Susan Fishman, Molly Gross, Pesa Gurevich, Henry Kenter, Midler Milchlin, Bernard Milchlin, Rachel Morrison, Henrietta Chester, Susan Spector. And anybody else have people that you observe in your site that you want to mention the name? And anybody at home? On page 598, we recite the Kaddish, and please join me. Yid Kadal v'Yid Kadash Shmei Rabbah, Be'alma Divra Hirutei v'Yamlich Malchutei, B'chayehon u'B'yamehon u'B'chayei Dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala B'zman Kari v'Yimru Amen, Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevorach Le'olam Le'almei Almaya, Yid Barach v'Yishtabach v'Yid Pa'ar v'Yid Ramam v'Yid Naseh, V'Yid Adar v'Yid Aleh v'Yid Alal Shmei Dekudshah, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, Tushpichata v'nehemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemayim, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al v'imru amen. Please be seated. So again, Mazel Tov to our 6th grade. class that led us beautifully in service. Thank you to all the parents who prepared, and the Mora Nira and Mr. Adar, thank you for preparing the children. You did a beautiful job. It's a good preparation for your bar bat mitzvah, right? So tomorrow, some announcements this morning. Tomorrow, Hebrew school, yay, at 9:30. March 28th, there is a Hartman class with Rabbi Till and Rabbi Silbert. And next Friday, we have a family Shabbat, and we'll make edible Passover craft, right? So come to family Shabbat, we'll make some edible from matzah, some surprise craft that you can eat for Passover. Any announcements, guys, from you? Any good announcements? Any news? No? No news? Okay, so we'll invite maybe the whole class here to do the Kiddush and Motzi, right? And then we'll do the closing song. And please join us for the Kiddush, for light lunch. Okay. I will cut, right? Just for security, I'll cut the halat. And you'll do the blessing, right? Okay, scooch over, scooch over. Okay, ready? Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu haolam, u'osim lechem min haaretz. Amen. So you can eat after, because I need your help to sing the closing song. Okay, guys, so you can't munch and eat. Munch and sing, that would be hard. Okay? So we turn to page 657. It's page 657. As we join together in singing Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. You guys know the movements for Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu? Yeah? I'm sure you do. Okay, and parents, please join us on page 657. Shabbat Shalom.